Bushfires are a major part of the Australian culture and the way it's been for many, many years, centuries. In the 2003 fires in Canberra, under 24 hours we lost over 500 homes. The 2009 Black Saturday fires in Melbourne, we lost over 173 lives and some 2,000 homes were lost. We had the 2019 fires, which started in northern New South Wales in October. The fires quickly spread throughout the national parks up in northern New South Wales. And then we had a large number of fires then started appearing right down the entire coastline, impacting on Sydney, the southern coast of New South Wales. We also had large fire fronts in Victoria, and unfortunately they also combined with fires in South Australia, Western Australia and Northern Territories.
Australia is unique because we have a first world place that's very safe, very welcoming. 2003 were the giant bushfires in Canberra that encroached into the urban interface. We know that the structure of ACT Fire Rescue was much smaller back then, the communications infrastructure was much less, and the preparation in general was very low. They were caught off guard and there were a significant amount of casualties and properties lost in that event. Fast forward to 2009, Black Saturday in Victoria was another large death toll where a good portion of the state had witnessed widespread, unchecked wildfires. And even though we had these two large events, there's still a lot of internal debate as to backburning and prescribed burning and some of the other ways in which you could mitigate the fire risk.
One of the benefits of our response was a very close relationship with local fire authorities that had dated back several years. These people are great and they're professionals, and DS agents really aren't trained to be expert firefighters by any stretch of the imagination.
It was generally predicted by, on almost all accounts, to be a tremendously dangerous fire year.
This year was so bad, we started seeing fires even earlier up in the state of Queensland to our north, and then spreading down into especially the Blue Mountains west of Sydney.
You saw that there were improved plans from the last crises that they had.
And these embers would lay dormant up to 3 feet under the ground. So until we got inundating rains in February or March, nothing was going to put these out.
They have upped their resources. Their public messaging was much more on point.
Mega fires outside Sydney, and those burned for months. They were in such steep, rocky terrain.
Comparatively very well prepared for this year versus the prior.
And the fires were so intense with the fuel loads on the ground, the New South Wales Rural Fire Service just couldn't get in there to suppress these fires. RFS became, during this fire season, an internationally known organization. This is a group of primarily volunteer firefighters that come from all walks of life that go and support fire response outside of the major urban centers. Unlike the US, the vast majority of the response is staffed by volunteers. There is a backbone of permanent staff that supervises and directs operations, but the tens of thousands of people responding to these fires all across the country were volunteers taking time off from work and in many cases defending their own homes and communities.
You saw multiple platforms of communication coming out to everybody from in-person door knocking, distributing preparation documents and checking on people's bushfire survival plans. You saw radio broadcasts where the Australian Broadcasting Corporation had a dedicated AM channel that would run 24 hours with emergency information. There were phone calls being made by volunteers, and certainly the social media and the web pages were inundated with updates in the worst times, even every 5 minutes.
I'm a member of the New South Wales Rural Fire Service as a volunteer. It's the largest volunteer fire service in the world, some 71,000 members.
There was a reliance on aircraft to do a lot of reconnaissance. There was a reliance on UAVs and unmanned systems to do a lot of recon. And that was current and feeding into the operating pictures so that commanders at the higher levels could make resource calls.